Welcome, movie fans, to another episode of Hollow Victories, where just when you think these films can't get any dumber, we do an episode like this and completely redeem ourselves. I'm your host, Matt Presents, joined as always by my dumberest co-host.
My dumberest?
Yeah.
You fucking threw the entire thing off, Matt. If you called me dumb, I was going to say, yeah, that's right, I am dumb and you're dumber. And if you called me dumber, I was going to deny being dumber and call you dumber, and I'm dumb. But you just threw something, you just ruined it. Like, I had a backup plan and you still ruined it.
Yeah. Get wrecked.
I'm your stupid fucking piece of shit co-host, Makal Shadackle. How's it going?
Which one do you think is dumb and which one do you think is dumber?
Jim Carrey is dumber.
I agree. I think Jim Carrey is dumber.
I think he's more confident, though. I think that he's more confident in being stupid. He feels more comfortable in his skin than Jeff Daniels does in these movies.
Like, Jeff Daniels is dumb, but he realizes when he's in a bad situation.
Yeah.
In case you haven't picked up yet, it is the matchup of the Dumb and Dumber sequels. Dumb and Dumberer, When Harry Met Lloyd from 2003?
Yes.
And Dumb and Dumber 2 from 2014. Michael, what's your exposure to Dumb and Dumber?
I definitely saw Dumb and Dumberer as a kid. I watched it. I have, there's scenes in that movie I remember it while watching it. I don't know if I saw the first one or not. I think it's very likely that I did. Funny, honest to God, these aren't even, kids' movies. I think the character Dumb and Dumber can be, kind of appealing to kids, because they almost feel like cartoon characters. But but there's a lot of inappropriate jokes, at least in the prequel and sequel. The original I don't remember if I've seen it, but I'm assuming that was also an adult comedy, because these are definitely adult comedies. But they're also kind of lowbrow, so I could see a kid or at least a younger person really liking them. I don't know. I've outgrown a lot of this shit. I got laughs from both of these movies. They are not the worst comedies we've covered on the show, but it's just if the first movie isn't much better than these two, then I don't think I'm missing much. But maybe it's a lot better. I don't know. I don't remember it.
I would say it's quite a decent bit better than these two, which is not to say it's a great movie or anything, just that it is a lot better than the ones we just watched. I watched Dumb and Dumber yesterday, and I believe it was for the first time. I definitely tried to watch it when I was younger, and I seemed to recall starting watching it on YouTube back in the Wild West days, where full movies would just be uploaded to YouTube.
Yeah.
And then having to stop for some reason. But the thing is, all I remembered from that viewing was the POV shot of him being born at the very beginning. And it turns out that's from Dumb and Dumberer, which is maybe why I turned it off, because I'm like, wait a minute, this isn't Dumb and Dumber. So I think I saw the opening scene of Dumb and Dumberer in my attempt to watch Dumb and Dumber, and I just never watched Dumb and Dumber until yesterday.
I could be wrong, but my, as I was getting a little older, not not that old, but I was probably an 8 or 9-year-old instead of a 5-year-old, my dad was starting to try to push me into watching stuff that wasn't animation, because I mainly only watched animated movies when I was really young. And he said, "Oh, Dumb and Dumber, you'll like this. It's funny, it's goofy." Which I'm gonna say, Dad, I don't know if that was the most appropriate movie for me to watch, if it's anything like these two. But I think he picked, it was Dumb and Dumberer, and I think he showed that to me by accident. I think he meant to show Dumb and Dumber. But I was unsupervised watching it. And I remember not thinking too highly of it. I remember thinking this is kind of boring. I didn't get, because even, the joke, back then I was too young to get half of the jokes, and now I'm too old to enjoy the jokes. Because it's just them making the same special needs joke over and over again.
Yeah, the ideal window for these is, 11 to 14.
Honestly.
But I got a decent amount of laughs from the first film. There's some real misses. There are some real misses, but it's never annoying, which is weird, because, there's this gnawing sense the whole movie that, like, oh, these characters could get super annoying at any moment, and they never do. They always know what gags to do with these characters, how far to take it, you know, who these characters need to be antagonizing. I think the first film works pretty well. And I would put some of that down to Jim Carrey and Jeff Daniels' performance. I think they're just perfect for the roles. But I also think it's like kind of a masterclass in gag writing. It's like, how do you take two characters that could so easily get on audiences' nerves and still make them funny?
How much did the versions in 2 and Dumberer get on your nerves? Like, did they get on your nerves?
They did, both of them, but not as much as I maybe feared they would. Certainly more in one of them than the other, but I'll play that one close to the chest for later in the show.
I'll say this. I did the Dumb and Dumberer and this movie, both of them got a genuine laugh from me at a point. I think I'd even say more than one. I just, like, God, in terms of, like, jokes I really liked, I could probably name one from both. But there definitely were other times I laughed. But it was too spread out for me to call it a good comedy.
I am exactly with you. I'm like, I definitely laughed more than once, but I remember, like, one gag that was funny in both of them.
Yeah, and I'll name mine, and you can name yours. Maybe we'll actually have the same one for one or both of them, but I know that the Bob Saget scene is, like, kind of an iconic one in Dumb and Dumber. I've seen that clip posted around before even seeing this movie. I honestly didn't know what it was from until I saw a comment from, I think you put the poll up or someone, and someone was like, oh, yeah, that great Bob Saget scene. Like, it's like, oh, that's what that's from. Okay. Funny enough, that is not one of the scenes I remembered from watching it when I was young, but I was young. Yeah, I don't know. It's like, I wasn't extremely annoyed watching either of these two. The worst thing that happened while watching them was getting bored. Because it wasn't so annoying that it was, like, they weren't so annoying that, like, they, like, got on my nerves, because often when that happens, it's like, it turns into, like, a joystick situation where I genuinely hate the movie. Like, it is, like, not just failing to make me laugh, it is getting on my last goddamn nerves. This movie, I wouldn't say either of these really did that, although I will, I'm not going to say they weren't annoying at all, but it was also just kind of like, I see performers trying, but they're given really lackluster material. That's what I'd say about these two. Like, the writing is not solid.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. Really, that is the key thing missing from both of these. Maybe we should get into one of them.
Yeah.
I think I will start us off with Dumb and Dumberer. Or, Dumb and Dumberer, When Harry Met Lloyd, to give it its full title.
Mm-hmm.
I do kind of want to address the titles of both of these, because Dumb and Dumber T.O., that's the only time I've seen that done, so there is something a little clever about that, I think. I've seen T.O.O. before, definitely that's happened a few times, but this is the only one I've seen with T.O., and I love it. I love it when a sequel just puts an E.R. at the end of the first movie, and that's, like, double funny when it's Dumb and Dumberer.
Yeah.
When Harry Met Lloyd is maybe a little wordy. But
it didn't need to be When Harry Met Lloyd. I think that's a stupid extension, but
that could have been, like, the tagline.
Both of the titles play off the idea that, like, they don't know how to name the movie. Like, that's how dumb they are, which is kind of funny. Like, throwing in the word Dumberer, but also throwing in the wrong two. Like, that's pretty good.
Yeah. So in this prequel to the original Dumb and Dumber, we see when Lloyd Christmas and Harry Dunn meet in high school. Harry Dunn, the son of a single mother, who's been homeschooled up to this point, but his mother thinks it's time for him to make real friends, and so sends him off to the actual public high school. Meanwhile, Lloyd Christmas lives in the basement with his father, Luis Guzman, who's the janitor of the school, and finally he has gotten old enough that he is gonna go to the school, and so, as the title suggests, Harry meets Lloyd, and the two become quick friends. Meanwhile, there's a principal, played by Eugene Levy, who's having an affair with the lunch lady and embezzling school money for their, like, love shenanigans. And he finds out this wealthy special needs person is giving out huge grants to schools with special needs programs. So he comes up with the idea to build a fake special needs program, get a bunch of really good pictures with them, and embezzle the money from this other guy. And he's like, we just need some saps to get this ball rolling. And of course he finds Lloyd Christmas and Harry Dunn, who then get a bunch of other students to sign up for the special needs program to get out of doing actual homework. Meanwhile, there's this journalist who Harry has a crush on, and then maybe also Lloyd has a crush on, who is trying to expose the principal, who's onto the principal's scheme, and is trying to get as much help as she can from Harry and Lloyd, who can actually be helpful if you wind them up and point them the right way. They can't do it on purpose, though. That about covers it. There's also a subplot where they're beefing with the manager of the local gas station. And yeah, that's Dumb and Dumberer When Harry Met Lloyd. Makal, what'd you think of that one?
Wasn't great. At its best, it snuck in a good joke. At its worst, it's just an extremely dated comedy. I think both of these, funny enough, are, but I think Dumb and Dumber, it's like 2003, there was like many more movies like this to come, and Dumb and Dumber 2, it's like almost like right at the end of that era of comedy.
Dumb and Dumber 2 is almost like after that. It feels like it is... it was dated in 2014, right? This kind of humor was already going out in 2014.
It was still around a bit, though. I mean, I don't know. I'm getting kind of specific here. 2016 is when I really started to notice the shift. Like, that's when it was like... And people were still doing it. They were just getting more shit if they did do it. Where we're back in 2003 of Dumb and Dumber, and no one would have, like, batted an eye at this.
And yet somehow I feel like it's, like, kind of the less problematic of the two.
Dumb and Dumberer?
Yeah. The one from 2003, I think maybe flies a little better today than the movie from 2014.
I think it depends on who you are, because I could see a lot of people being really, this movie does the special needs jokes so many fucking times. Like, it's excessive. They thought that was the funniest thing ever. It's brought up in almost every scene of the movie.
That's fair.
But I do understand where you're coming from, too. The fucking Dumb and Dumber 2 is just fucking flat out creepy. Like,
But they've made the special needs stuff, like, a big part of the plot in this one. It's not, like, the worst thing. Like you said, there's some funny jokes in it. There were some laughs in it.
Yeah, and if you like edgy humor, I don't know, like, because I mean, I enjoy edgy humor, but I'll say this much too: it's like both pretty weak. I mean, I'm coming at this as someone who likes South Park, someone who likes like select Family Guy, old Simpsons. Like, there's edginess in all of those shows, especially South Park, and it's like. Sure. I do think it can be funny if it's purposeful, if there's a point to be made or it's legitimate. Like, also, like a friend of mine always brings up, they think it's okay as long as it's actually funny, but it actually has to be funny. And in Dumb and Dumber's case, the jokes that work aren't even the edgy ones. Like, the edgy humor is just, like, not good. It's not funny. So it completely fails to get a laugh.
Isn't that me? Didn't I say that?
You might have said it before, but it's, but no. I don't know if they want to be name drop, I'll tell you after. I bet you've said that to me before. But I think it's an issue of both of the movies. I don't think it's specific to Dumb and Dumber. I think, I don't like, in determining which one is worse, I think it's like, what do you consider worse? Which one's a more sensitive topic to you? Because both of them go hard on a single topic, like on a topic,
Yeah, okay, but like, Dumb and Dumber 2 has some, like, there's like some weird racial stuff going on in that movie that you're kind of like... Well, I guess that's in Dumb and Dumber too. There is like the Chinese character who they call Ching Chong the entire fucking movie, and then there's it actually kind of is a funny twist that that's not her name and she speaks perfect English.
Right. I mean, this movie does the same joke that Dumb and Dumber like 2 opens with like Harry's parents. It's just, isn't it funny how Asian people talk? That's the joke. And I will give Dumb and Dumber credit for being 2003 and not 2014 in that case.
And Dumb and Dumberer subverts that joke.
That's true.
They also go like, haha, look, she doesn't actually talk like that. You just thought she talked like that because you're a dumb American.
Sure, that's a fair point.
It feels like there's a little part of it that feels like a Disney Channel original movie, except that it's like way edgier.
Right.
Because it has that like cheapness to it. It has that we're all high schooler outcasts. We've got this like little group and we're gonna pull this group together and defeat the evil principal,
Yeah, this movie did feel very cheap with a lot of its like humor. It felt like they weren't willing to commit fully in a lot of it. And again, it kind of felt like a smaller budget. Like one of the ones that stuck out to me the most is there's a scene near the end where the two friends split up where they play what's it called? I think the song's called Without You by Air Supply. And in it, they have like one shot at the start of the montage of them at lunch, like not talking to each other, and then the rest of it is just clips that were previously in the movie, some of which are like thematically correct for the scene where it's like, oh, it's sad that they broke up. Others are just shots of them talking, like it's like shot reverse shot. It's like, why is this here? It's like, I understand if you do a montage like this, maybe you throw in a few clips from like earlier in the movie, like to give it the emotional appeal. But no, they open with one shot that takes place in the present, and then the rest of it's flashbacks, and it's like, this doesn't work at all. Like this is just like, you did not film enough for the scene to exist, and you left it in anyways. Like, have a montage of them not getting along. It's not the funniest thing ever, but at least it would be a scene.
It also almost shows off like how little happens in this movie as compared to like the high shenanigans of the first film. And look, we're gonna get on to Dumb and Dumber 2 for rehashing the first film, so I do want to give this film a little credit for not just rehashing Dumb and Dumber. They like came up with a plot to throw these guys in a high school story. But I like you look at that scene and it's so many shots of them just standing around talking. And it's like, that's because it's all they're doing in this movie. Where in the first film, it's like a road trip. They're all going all these places and meeting all these people. And you could have done a way more interesting montage with the first film.
They're trying with the dialogue in this movie. Like, there's a lot of like misunderstanding lines, like a lot of like quirky dialogue where one character says one thing and the other character misinterprets it as something else. There's a lot of wordplay in that sense, but visual gag wise, it definitely felt, I can't speak on the first movie, but I'd say Dumb and Dumber 2 definitely got more into doing the visual gags than this one did.
Yeah, there's more slapstick stuff going on in the other two. Which, to be fair, the other two clearly had a much higher budget than this film.
Yeah. The one joke in this movie that did genuinely get a laugh from me, I guess I'll name that now, is there's a part where Harry... Oh, God, which one's Harry now? No, Harry. There's one scene where Harry is he's at the girl he likes house. He's like practicing how he's gonna greet her outside, and it's just like, it's awful. He's doing a horrible job practicing, and then it immediately cuts to her listening, like he's not practicing. This is it happening in real time. Like, okay, that was a really like funny and well-timed joke. That one got a laugh from me, so that's a good one.
That was the big one for me. I got a chuckle here and there. Do we want to talk who's in this? Because there is kind of an insane cast in this film.
There is, honestly.
I guess we'll start with Eric Christian Olsen, famed to us, of course, for playing Vaughn on Community.
Getting rid of Britta,
getting rid of the bee.
Yeah.
He was also in The Hot Chick, so this is a return for him.
Oh, hey, welcome back. Pure Sure B is funny. That's his one good moment on Community. I do not like Vaughn. I don't know. Vaughn is just like a weird character to me. I don't want to get into it like much Community discourse here. I didn't find him funny. I understood I understand what his point was. I understand how he was supposed to be funny, but he just got on my last fucking nerves every time he was on screen.
I think it's funny that Jeff and Shirley bond over not liking him.
Yeah, but that's Jeff and Shirley.
Yeah, but I mean, he's part of the joke.
I guess so.
Eric Christian Olsen did really good in this movie. Like,
yeah, he honestly did.
he absolutely passes for a younger Lloyd Christmas.
It's hard too because it's like impersonating Jim Carrey, but I mean, I didn't have an issue with it. The performance was fine.
As far as Jim Carrey replacements in these movies, he's at the top. The kid from Ace Ventura Jr.'s below him, and then at the bottom is Jamie Kennedy.
That was technically a different character, but yeah, I get it. Yeah.
Yeah, but he's supposed to be like the Jim Carrey replacement.
They're trying to do Jim Carrey, at least in the scenes where he has the mask on. Yeah, I think he did a pretty good job. I don't think they're giving him like the best lines, but he's like fully committed to acting like this character. Like when because I didn't see Dumb and Dumber, at least I don't remember if I did. But when we started watching Dumb and Dumber 2, it did kind of feel like pretty similar to what we just watched the night before in terms of the performance. So it's like, yeah, pretty good job on his end.
Yeah, no, he got it. The other guy, Derek Richardson, he was like whatever. Like he wasn't an awful Harry, but he didn't impress me. He didn't make me go, oh, he's doing the Jeff Daniels so good.
He was almost like I guess what I would say like was different about him from Jeff Daniels is like, I don't know, he felt like there's these moments in Dumb and Dumber 2 where Jeff Daniels kind of gets like giggly. He like cracks up at something, but it's every once in a while. I felt like in Dumb and Dumberer, he's doing that like in every single scene. Like he's just constantly giggling at something. His voice is constantly cracking. It's I don't know. It's not terrible. I think he's like trying, but it doesn't. Yeah, he did feel pretty different from Jeff Daniels in the sequel.
They didn't rehash a lot of jokes from the first movie, but the ones they did, they just absolutely butchered. Because there's a joke in the first film, I referenced it at the start of the episode, where he's like, just when I think you can't get any dumber, you do something like this to totally redeem yourself. And then in this movie, first off, the delivery's not as funny. Like it's not a super original joke, but Jeff Daniels totally sells it in the first film. He doesn't sell it as well in this one, but they've also changed it. He's like, just when I can't get any madder at you, you do this, and like the wording was off. It wasn't funny. It didn't have the same humor as it did in the first film. Not that repeating the joke from the first film would have been funny. They just did it bad. They did it worse somehow.
Yeah. Rachel Nichols as Jessica. I don't know.
Yeah.
Not much to say. They don't give her a lot. Like,
I mean, she's not. She does what she needs to.
I can't. Yeah, it's like one of those where it's like not bad, not great, but what did they give her to work with? We say that a lot.
The actress did what she needed to. The character did what she needed to. You know.
Yeah.
I'm not really expecting more out of her in Dumb and Dumberer when Harry met Lloyd. Like she's just sort of the romantic interest for Harry and Lloyd to quabble over.
Yeah. Eugene Levy and Sherry O'Terry are like, I feel like they are trying so fucking hard in this to be funny because they are both very funny people. But I just, again, the script isn't like giving them much. I guess it's kind of funny when he's trying to be threatening during the third act and then he's just like calling her parents pretending to be like a friend from high school. Like, and again, it's not even like the script is funny. Eugene Levy is just a funny actor.
Yeah, and honestly, like, he wasn't even getting that many laughs.
I genuinely feel like him and Sherry are, like, both trying really hard. They're trying to make these lines work, and, like, it is funnier with them in the role than someone else, but it's like, this isn't it. He's really good at playing kind of like the straight man in a way, like Schitt's Creek. He's really funny on that show. And he's kind of a character like Jeff Winger, where he's just dealing with every other character's stupid bullshit.
Like, that's maybe the most damning thing I can say about the material is, like, Eugene Levy wasn't even that funny.
Right, yeah, you have you got two really funny people here who are, like, they're good at other things, but it's just, like, I think they're, like, trying to deliver the lines in ways that are funny. It's just, it's not there, but I do think it could have been worse, I'll say. But yeah, no, it's too bad. It's too bad. It's kind of a wasted casting. You are right, this is a fucking stacked cast, which is weird.
This is a third appearance for Sherry O'Terry. She's in Shrek the Third and Southland Tales.
Right. We got Louis Guzman. Has he been in something?
I don't think so. Yeah, I was gonna say this is like weirdly kind of a community heavy cast. Because you've got Christian Olsen. You got Luis Guzman, who of course played himself. They've got the statue of him up there, and then Brian Posen is the store clerk, and he was one of the guys who invented Meow Meow Bean. He's a popular TV actor. I see him on stuff all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Does not help the feel of the TV movie feel of this movie.
Right.
But Luis Guzman kinda does. It's like, yeah, that's kind of a big name to pull for this, alongside Eugene Levy and Sherry O'Terry. And Shia LaBeouf is in this
return
movie.
and appearance. Shia LaBeouf, I think, could be like a great actor, both in like really silly movies, but also really dramatic ones. Like I enjoyed him in I'm about to name The Pieces of a Woman. I really liked him in that. He plays a more dramatic role in that one, but I don't think he was very good in this one at all, honestly. Like, I don't think that... I say the performers are pretty good in this movie, but the lines are horrible. I think for him, the lines are bad, and he was kind of awkward in this.
Yeah, but also, like, I don't know that they ever really settled on what his character was supposed to be like. Like, the only joke with him is that he's always in a mascot costume. And,
right.
like, there's no other personality beyond that.
No, that's true. That's true. Yeah, eventually he becomes afraid of Lloyd, because Lloyd, like, mistakenly beats him up when he's in the pirate costume.
Yeah, because he thinks he's Harry's imaginary friend.
Yeah, but yeah, it's kind of a little unfocused, I guess, in that regard. Mimi Rogers as Mrs. Dune, a retconned character. She does not exist in the main franchise.
Yeah, we'll get to how the Farleys feel about this movie. But I mean, Luis Guzman also retconned.
Right.
She's, I mean, fine.
Yeah, I can't think of anything. She's probably one of the more inappropriate jokes of the film. I will say that's actually something I comment to you when watching this. The characters have a weird way of like, oh, Harry and Lloyd just are misunderstanding something they see. But in a lot of cases in the movie, like, no, it is weird that happened. Like, there's a scene where she kisses her, like, right when they're about to go to bed, like, they're having a sleepover at Harry's house. She kisses her son goodnight, and then she kisses Lloyd goodnight. It is weird if someone else's mom does that. And then he's like, oh, she's coming on to me, and that's, like, kind of the joke. But it is weird that she kissed a boy that wasn't her own kid. Later in the movie, we see Jessica, like, there's, like, a misunderstanding where Harry sees her kiss Lloyd on the lips, and it's because, in the scene, it's, like, because she's, like, so happy that he's gonna help her with the investigation. But normally when you're giving someone, like, when you're happy with someone, like, maybe a hug them or something, but or even, like, a kiss on the cheek would be kind of pushing it. A kiss on the lips, like, it's like, how else is he supposed to interpret that?
Yeah.
Like, the characters are rightfully weirded out in these scenes, or rightfully misinterpret something in these scenes. It's weird. There was another one that I'm forgetting right now. There's several points in this movie where it's like they're kind of pushing the misunderstanding trend a little too far. It's not quite working the way they want it to work.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. Like the setup is too outlandish that, like, yeah, of course they would interpret it that way.
Right. Like, if I was at a friend's house and their mom kissed me, I probably wouldn't interpret it as, oh, fuck, they want to sleep with me. But I would be like, what? Did you just do that to me? What? That's weird. Good old Bob Saget. He hasn't been on the show yet, has he?
I don't believe so, no. A first appearance from Mr. Bob Saget. I mean, it's kind of funny that he's in this.
Yeah.
But it's like the same joke both times he shows up. Oh my god, it's not even shit either time, but he's like, oh my god, you're covered in shit, there's shit everywhere.
And, yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's, I don't know, I think a lot of people for a while found humor in the guy from Full House saying vulgar stuff like that. But if you've seen his stand-up, I mean, my god.
Yeah, that was not uncommon in his stand-up.
Yeah, he did that all the time. Like, Full House... It wasn't really like, oh, this is the exception, and Full House was the exception. Everything else he did was like, I mean, I guess America's Funniest Home Videos, he was as appropriate as he had to be on television with that, but like, he was inappropriate in a lot of the stuff he did. I don't know. The shit scene is kind of funny, though. The way he delivers it is kind of funny.
Yeah. I don't think there's anyone else worth mentioning in this. The football player with the concussion... The joke is that he's got a concussion.
Most of those crew members just... you kind of forget about them because the movie kind of forgets about them.
I do think it's kind of funny that, like, the punk bully kid gets, like, really into the Chinese girl, like, is being actually romantic about it.
Yeah. For the most part, doesn't seem like a bad boyfriend.
Well, despite being terrible to Harry and Lloyd.
Yeah. I mean, we got, I don't have much to say about them. They're both really tiny parts, but Julia Duffy as Mrs. Matthews, I remember her from Drake and Josh, and Timothy Stack as the doctor. I have been watching on My Name is Earl. He plays like a has-been actor who's always drunk at the bar on that show. If you haven't seen him yet, you'll see him soon. He's in a lot of that show.
Hey, he's in another comedy that opens on a POV shot of the main character being born. It's Pat.
Pat? There you go. All right. Well, what did the brothers think of this movie?
Oh, the Farrelly brothers have, like, completely disowned Dumb and Dumber. They're like, we didn't do that one, that wasn't ours, we had nothing to do with the production of that, and so they just completely wrote it off when they made the sequel. They're like, we didn't even watch it, none of that is canon, this is our new sequel that has nothing to do with that. Michael, why don't you introduce Dumb and Dumber 2 for us?
Yes, Dumb and Dumber 2, released 20 years after the original, follows Lloyd Christmas and Harry Dune again after Lloyd Christmas has been faking a coma state for 20 years, and Harry has been taking care of him, visiting him at the hospital, only for him to finally break the act that he was just messing with him, and the two get back to their regular shenanigans, although, unfortunately, ever since that has happened, Harry's kidneys have gone bad and he needs to get a new one. And then by going through his old mail that was left with his parents, he discovers that he has a child, a daughter to be specific, or at least he thinks he does. And he's like, well, if we can meet her, we not only can I reunite with my daughter I didn't know existed, but I could get the kidney from her. So they go on this big journey to try to reunite with his daughter. On the way, they come across his supposed daughter's stepfather and a stepmother who wants to kill basically the whole family so she can run off with his fortune, along with the servant who's part of the plan, who they kind of do this weird thing where he gets killed off halfway through the movie and then replaced with a character that is essentially just him again. So it really does feel like they just killed that character off so they could make the one gag and that's it. But it was the one gag that made me laugh, so props to that. And yeah, they go to this place that's clearly supposed to be a parody of TED Talks, where she's given a speech for her father, but it's like, what is it, Ken Chats or something like that. And yeah, and there they try to reunite with her, and more shenanigans take place, and without spoiling the ending, that's basically it. Matt, what'd you think of Dumb and Dumber 2?
I do want to say it's her adoptive father and mother, not her stepfather and mother.
That's true. Yeah. I'm wrong worded. My bad.
This is kinda... I certainly think you could do worse with the Dumb and Dumber characters, but this is pretty bad. This is kind of what you expect from a movie called Dumb and Dumber, honestly. Like, the first Dumb and Dumber surprisingly exceeds expectations. A title like that, I thought it would have been a lot more annoying than it was. This is more in line with what you expect from a movie called Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah.
It's not very funny.
No.
Again, there was a laugh or two. I think the reason they kill off the Rob Rickles character, like, halfway through the film, is because they also did that in the first movie. Like, there was... In the first movie, they've got this briefcase of money, and there's this mobster guy that's, like, trying to get a hold of it, and he's trying to poison them, but they accidentally poison him, and that's so they just, like, accidentally kill a guy halfway through the movie. I feel like it's just a rehash of that when they kill off Rob Rickles in the middle of this movie. It is funny how abrupt it is funny how they do it, but I also feel like the reason that happens then is because they did that in the first movie. And then they don't even commit to it because they bring Rob Riggles back as a different character.
I mean, he essentially serves the same role. If you were watching the movie, fell asleep for like 2 minutes and then woke back up, you would assume it's just the same guy still.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing to like make that. There's nothing that makes the two distinct.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't certainly not getting a lot of laughs from this. I was not a fan. I don't know. Like, it's not just like Dumb and Dumber. It wasn't like painful. I wasn't like super annoyed by it. I did get laughs here and there. We've seen worse comedies, but it's just like, I don't know. Again, high energy performances. It looks like Jim Carrey and Jeff Daniels are trying their hearts out. I think Jim Carrey normally does, honestly. Even people like Rob Riggle, I think
Yeah.
he's trying to be funny. I think I don't see like this as an effortless film. I think the idea at the beginning of it, like, I almost feel like the way the movie opens is kind of funny. I have seen stuff do that before, where the joke is, oh, this character has been doing something stupid and like basically has done nothing since the last movie, even though it was years ago. Like, fucking Invader Zim's movie opens with like by saying that Zim was in the toilet the entire time waiting. But like there is something kind of funny to be said that you, after watching Dumb and Dumber 20 years ago, you've missed nothing. You know?
Yeah. They spoiled that joke in like all the trailers, but also I feel like you kinda have to in order to like get people on board with what's going on.
Maybe. I don't know if you have to spoil it. I think you could like I almost feel like that's the one joke you shouldn't spoil.
Maybe. But like you're gonna know that like Jim Carrey is not in this catatonic state.
Mm-hmm. No, that's true. But but maybe you think he actually was in it, and now he's just getting out of it. And then the reveal that he was just fucking with him for 20 years is kind of like a funny way to open the movie. It, to me, immediately screams, and I mean, to be fair, I think just the title kind of already does this, but it just immediately screams nothing in this movie is meant to be taken seriously. Like, that we have so little respect for the characters that we just basically told you, yeah, nothing has happened for 20 years.
Yeah.
But I mean, at the same time, I don't even think it sounds like a complaint. Honest to God, it's like fitting for something like this. Like, this is like the one sequel where you could make a joke like that.
Yeah. No, I don't think this is some great betrayal of these characters to do that. I think that's perfectly in line with these characters. I do think they're a little more annoying in this movie than they are in either of the other two movies. Certainly more so the original. They are like a little annoying in Dumb and Dumber, but I think this is the one where they really grate on my nerves the most.
I don't care for the bit where Jim Carrey wants to like hook up with his friend's daughter, and it's not even like, here's the thing, it's not even like, oh, it ruins the character or it makes him too much of a bastard. It's like, no, because I don't think you're supposed to take these guys too seriously. I don't think that they're really ruining anything by that, but it is also just like, I don't know, it's like, what's so funny? I don't know. What's so funny about that? I mean, that is a thing. Things have certainly changed a lot, but it is just like, that is just kind of creepy. I don't know.
And I saw it coming from a mile off that like, oh, this is gonna end up being his kid.
Right.
Which, but of course then they do that reveal and then it's like, oh no, actually no, he wasn't.
Yeah. They're trying to kind of do like humor with the obvious. Like, isn't it like when you hear their reasons for thinking that they're the fathers, like there might be someone in the audience says, well, like, what, well, that doesn't mean that it's necessarily theirs. What if it like this or that? But you're normally not supposed to think about it that much because it's a movie. But this is a movie that's kind of saying like, no, you are supposed to think about that. That's stupid. That doesn't make any sense. But at the same time, everything in this movie is stupid. So I was willing to accept it. I was willing to accept that she was one of their kids. Kind of leaves the ending feeling kind of pointless. And again, like, not a movie you're supposed to take seriously, but it's also like, you can have, I don't know.
Well,
it's just like, it feels like the whole journey was for nothing.
They also kind of heavily imply she's theirs by making her as dumb as them.
I almost thought for a second they were going to kind of do a thing. Yeah, that's true. I almost thought for a second they were going to do this thing where, like, it couldn't be determined. So they were just both her father. Like, kind of do what,
Mamma Mia this shit.
I was about to say that, gonna Mamma Mia this. That'd be kind of funny, like, right? I think that would have been I think that would have been a better joke to end on, but I mean, it wouldn't have been, like, great or anything. It's just, like, it's just not a very satisfying movie to watch, but I mean, I guess, what are you expecting with this? I don't know. I was hoping it would get, like, since I had to watch it, even though we're doing it for this show, I was hoping to get a fair number of laughs, and I did, but they were too spread out. This was not an enjoyable one, but neither is Dumb and Dumberer. These two are very close, I think.
There is one joke in this that I think is worse than fucking anything in Dumb and Dumberer.
Oh, which one?
And it's the one where they're in the nursing home trying to secure hearing aids for Harry, and this old lady makes Lloyd reach up her ass, and like he gets vagina dust on his fingers.
It wasn't her ass, it was her grangina.
Her grangina. God, it was awful. It was the worst scene. I'm like, no, God, no, stop.
I think this is just per course for movies like this. I've seen a lot of movies do similar jokes.
I know, but here's the thing, like, that, it hadn't happened yet in the Dumb and Dumber series. They hadn't crossed that line, and that was the one standout joke in all of these where I'm just like, no, absolutely the fuck not.
Yeah, it wasn't great. You want to talk about cast? I actually do not have a lot to say about this one. It's a mediocre comedy. It's a below average comedy. Mediocre is, I think, I'm not going to say it's fucking terrible, but it is, I think it's worse than mediocre.
Yeah, that, I agree. Sure, let's talk about the cast.
Okay. Jim Carrey and Jeff Daniels, I mean, I think that they're doing fine. The performances are not bad.
Like, they can't save this material, but, like, it definitely would be worse with someone else in these roles.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there are not funny lines that are slightly less not funny because it's these two giving them.
Jim Carrey's returning. Jeff Daniels is not. But Jim Carrey was the Grinch, so welcome back, Jim Carrey.
He was also the Riddler.
Right. Okay, 3-time appearer and, like, main character in all three, you know, He's gaining on Sandler and Clint Howard. He's gaining on them.
He's big, although we're quickly extinguishing, like, the stuff he's been in that we could do for this show. Horton Hears a Who, I guess, is still on the table, just so we finish off the Dr. Seuss movies.
Oh god, was he in that?
And yeah, he was Horton.
Oh fuck. I didn't know that.
Also, maybe a series of unfortunate events. I don't know what we'd pair it up with, but it has the potential.
That would be interesting, because I liked that movie as a kid, and I've had everybody tell me, like, as I got older, like, Michael, that movie fucking sucked. And I'm like, no, really? I don't remember it being that bad.
It was one of those things that, like, got put on at school when we had a substitute, so I don't even think I finished the movie. But as I was watching it, I'm like, I can tell the book is funnier than this. Like, I can tell this is based on really funny source material, and they are not doing it well.
What I'll say from reading the books that was kind of odd to me about it actually does come down to Jim Carrey, because I did read those books as a kid. I think when I made it to the last few, I was kind of skimming them. I was being a little lazy. I don't think I properly read the last few, but I read that series, I was pretty attached to it for a bit, and I will say that, one, they fucked with the order. The scene at the end of the movie is the ending of the first book, but they add after the first 3 books and then just cut the ending of the first book and shove it at the end, which I guess made more sense as a climactic scene. But anyways, let's not talk about this too. I'm making this too big of a topic. Jim Carrey is a little too goofy in it. Like, Count Olaf is kind of there is humor to his character, but he's a lot more unsettling and creepy than he is like a goofball that Jim Carrey portrays him as. So that would be, honest to God, if you can find another Jim Carrey pair-up or another like children's book pair-up, then that'd be the way to go.
Yeah, maybe.
Mr. Popper's Penguins, I don't know if that would be like one. I mean, I heard people say that sucked, and it kind of looks like it sucked.
Yeah.
It was one of the movies that South Park did a trailer for in the episode where Stan sees the entire world as shit. So you have a shot of Jim Carrey dancing with a bunch of pieces of shit. Brady Blum, funny with him, he played Christopher Robin from 1997 to 2005, I think it was. And then he was a kid in the first one, and this was like his first time acting in like well over a decade. He agreed to come back for a cameo, though. I think his last film role was listed, or like maybe even TV role was listed as 2004 because I was looking him up because I didn't recognize him. I was like, what is he from? And that's why I didn't recognize him. He just gets kind of a fun little, it felt like a cameo role. You know, it's fine.
Sorry, I'm looking at the cast here. The Breaking Bad parody that's living with Harry at the start of the movie. It's fucking Bill Murray under the mask.
Is it? Really?
I'm like,
why?
Who the fuck was Bill Murray? And then I looked it up and yeah.
Why? Why would they bring him on this with his face covered? Like, why? that role could literally go to an extra. What the fuck? Okay. I guess that's kind of funny knowing that.
That's a return appearance. He's Garfield and he's in Space Jam.
Fuck yeah. I guess he's technically in Space Jam: A New Legacy if we want to count that one picture during the credits. I don't know.
Let's not.
I might be giving Space Jam 2 too much credit.
Kathleen Turner as Frida Felcher, the girl the boys argue over in the first film, who also appears... The character Frida Felcher appears at the very end of the prequel, because of course she would. But,
She made me laugh.
This is a retcon version of her, so it's not the same character at all. Not that it mattered, like, they could be the same character. She does kind of have some sweet stuff going on with, like, her daughter.
Yeah. I like the scene where they leave her house to start their journey, and then they drive back to her house. Because it feels like they drove for a while before doing that. And then when they come back and she says, "You idiot," like, her response was funny. Like, so I liked her. She was pretty good.
She's very good at, like, getting exasperated at them. She's a good foil for them to play off.
Yeah. Rachel Melvin as Penny, honest to God, I mean, her stupidity was kind of funny. I didn't mind it.
No, I mean, she matches their energy pretty well.
They don't give her a lot of screen time, but I don't think she needed a lot of screen time for what this was.
No.
Laurie Holden was in one of these recently. Which one was it? Because she is a returning.
Fantastic Four.
Yes. I don't know. She's the villain. She's not funny, but they didn't give her anything funny to say.
I feel like I've seen exactly this character in a dozen other... I mean, okay, I guess the idea with this character, along with the Rob Riggles character, is to sort of be the criminal element like you had in the first film, and even in the prequel, that, like, you know, Harry and Lloyd stumble into. It gives you someone they can, like, that their stupidity can harm, that you don't feel bad seeing harm come to. But, like, she's the pretty blonde woman who wants to kill her old rich husband, like, to get all his money. Like, come on. I've seen this in a million other movies.
Rob Riggle is returning. He was O'Hare in The Lorax.
My name's O'Hare.
I gotta be honest. Like, I don't, and I feel like this is a mean thing to say, but he's just one of those actors. Like, anytime I see him, I don't like him. I think it's just I've seen him play a douchebag so often, and he always plays characters that annoy me more than they make me laugh. So every time I see his face, I'm immediately like, douchebag, like, instantly, because he's done it so many times. Like, he gets typecasted as those characters. I'll say this much: I think this was one of his better performances. Like, I actually laughed at the scenes where he was traveling with them. I did get a laugh or two.
Really, because I think he's funny enough, but I did think he was kind of nothing in this movie.
He's not great in this movie. I like to say I did laugh really hard when he got killed by the train, because he's like aiming the gun at them, and I'm like, maybe I just didn't notice the train track, and maybe it was really obvious it was about to happen.
I think the train track is, like, off screen, because I didn't even see the train tracks either until after the train had gone by.
I didn't either. That's why it was so funny, because it just felt like, I was like, okay, I didn't see that coming. How could have I seen that coming? But it's like, it still makes sense. Like, it's not purely haha lol random.
Also, like, character randomly gets hit by giant vehicle is always funny.
It is kind of always funny.
Like, I've seen it in movies where they're trying to be serious with it, and I'm like, no, it just looks funny.
Oh, God. That or them randomly blowing up is funny. Looking at you, skyscraper. I don't know. Rob Riggle, like, again, maybe I'll see him in something I like eventually. I don't want to be mean to this guy. He's clearly made a good career for himself. It's just every time I see him in something, oh my god, he gets on my nerves. Steve Tom as Dr. Bernard. I'm trying to pull up the full name because I don't remember how to pronounce it, but it's cutting the name off.
Pinchello?
Something like that.
Pinchello.
He seemed just really nice, like almost too nice for this franchise. Like, he was just the sweetest man.
He's barely in it. They give him the scene early where he's really nice to Harry and Lloyd, and then the scene at the end where he's like, haha, I've caught you doing illegal stuff.
Yeah.
But otherwise, you don't really see him.
You're not an especially hilarious character, but goddamn, like a fucking pleasant guy. That's the only note I had while watching. It's like, this guy is pleasant.
Sure.
They could have gone with the trope where it's like, I don't want you to meet my daughter. I am her real father. Me, no one else. But no, it's just immediately like, oh, let's call them right now.
But I mean, that's how it goes when you've got the pretty blonde wife who wants to murder her old rich husband. The old rich husband's always like super nice.
It'd be funny if they did one where it was just like the husband was so bad that eventually the audience was like, all right, fine, I'm with her. Do it.
Good for her, honestly. Get that paycheck, girl. I don't know if there's anyone else in this we need to talk about.
Just a bunch of bit roles from there.
Yeah. Oh, shoot. Dr. Walcott was also in Steel. Tim B. Locke is her name. Tim Block. I don't know. She was in Steel. A return appearance.
Welcome back. Honey Boo Boo's mom was in this.
Oh yeah, Honey Boo Boo's mom was in this.
Again, just kind of, it was a way more brief moment, but it just kind of reminds me of like Jersey Shore in the Three Stooges movie.
Which was from these same directors.
Really?
I remember thinking that was funny when I saw it in theaters as a kid. Even parts of the Jersey Shore segment.
I haven't seen the whole thing. I just know that they did it, and I was like, that doesn't feel right.
You want to know something else?
What's that?
These guys are the 5th Oscar winners to have a movie on the show. 5th Oscar-winning directors to have a movie on the show.
What did they win for?
Green Book.
Ew.
That's
like the worst thing you could have said.
Yeah.
What'd they do for Green Book?
No, they wrote and directed Green Book, which feels so out of place with the rest of their filmography, which is like Three Stooges and Dumb and Dumber, and There's Something About Mary and Osmosis Jones.
And now let's make a movie about race. We're qualified for that. Jeez.
A fact I know about this film, you know the old joke of like, when a movie's so bad, people are like, oh, this has to have been like a money laundering scheme or something. Turns out this one was a money laundering scheme. Now, to be fair, the Fairleys did genuinely write a Dumb and Dumber sequel. They did genuinely want to get this film made, and the owners of the first film, I believe it was New Line, didn't want to do the sequel, so they're like, alright, we'll let you option it, we'll let you use the Dumb and Dumber IP, and someone else can fund it. And these guys called Red Granite Pictures picked up the film, and they were a money laundering scheme. Now, in fairness to them, they also produced Wolf of Wall Street.
All right.
So
I mean, there is some points there. Look, if they produce nothing but good movies, which they've already lost out on with Dumb and Dumber 2. So even with those being the only 2 movies I'm aware that they did, they already struck out. But if they were a company that never did like anything but good movies, I could look past the money laundering thing. I could. Yeah. I don't give a shit.
They were like taking money from the Malaysian government.
Jeez.
I don't know. I found a video about it. I'll send you the video about it.
Yeah,
it's kind of crazy.
Please do.
Are we to the point where we need to vote?
Think so.
All right. Well, you got first vote, I guess.
Do I have first vote?
Yeah, because I introduced the first movie.
Okay. It's hard to say. I'm gonna go with Dumb and Dumber 2. It bored me less, but these two are pretty close. I think that I don't know. Like, I think they both made me laugh about an equal amount. I think they both had like really grown-worthy moments, and maybe Dumb and Dumber 2 had the worst joke. I don't know because watching these two felt very similar, but I found myself dozing off to Dumb and Dumberer. Like I had to like kind of keep myself awake. In this one, that wasn't the case. And I'm running on about the same amount of sleep for both of them, so I'm not even going to put that on my job. Yeah, I don't know. I think Dumb and Dumber 2. Fuck it. I think that one's a little more entertaining, probably because it has Jim Carrey and Jeff Daniels in it. That's literally probably it.
Interesting.
Better visual gags. I think the visual gags are better.
That's fair. Like, you make a good argument for Dumb and Dumber 2. I see where you're coming from on this one, but I think I'm going to disagree with you on this one.
Mm-hmm.
I found myself far less annoyed with Harry and Lloyd in Dumb and Dumberer. I feel like there were more jokes I thought were actually at least a little funny. I feel like I got more laughs out of the first one. And I feel like there was more stuff in Dumb and Dumber 2 that I was just uncomfortable with. Mainly the Grangina scene. That's like the big one for me. It's not like the determining factor, but it is definitely in the determining factor category. Also, Dumb and Dumber 2 was like 20 minutes longer.
That's true. That is a good point.
I'm going with Dumb and Dumber When Harry Met Lloyd. I do agree that this is one where it doesn't matter that much. The two are very close in quality, which makes it funny that the Fairleys were so like adamantly against like taking credit for Dumb and Dumberer.
Yeah, they could have done a better job with this one though if they were so against it, because it really isn't that much better.
Yeah, and you're not gonna like this, Michael. The audience for once is with me.
I figured they would be because I didn't like see what the full vote was, but I read the comments and I just heard people going on about that Bob Saget scene. I'm like, I just remember thinking, if I pick Dumb and Dumber 2, I'm gonna lose because of Bob Saget. So Olivia and Bob Saget have now cost me a win.
Yeah.
It doesn't sting as much. I've already had my first loss. It doesn't sting as much.
Imagine your first loss being the Dumb and Dumberer episode.
I know. No, instead it was Madam Web and Craven. I don't know which one is worse.
It's a pretty even 2/3, 1/3 split. 67% for Dumb and Dumber, 33% for Dumb and Dumber 2.
Fair enough. I don't think it's outrageous to think that Dumb and Dumber is better.
Yeah, no, I think these two are pretty close, though. Dumb and Dumber When Harry Met Lloyd wins.
Yay.
You know something, Michael?
What's up?
I kind of forgot to lock in a Hollow Victories for next time. So,
I remember you were talking about it the other night.
We were talking about it, and I never got a better answer than the one I pitched, so I think we're just gonna go with it.
That's fine. That's fine. Because I even like said like I don't know about that one, but I didn't give you anything, so it's like, yeah, that's fine.
I mean, it's gonna be an instance where we have Olivia and Cass there. Like, Olivia cares more about comic books, but Cass knows comic books.
Yeah.
So next time on Hollow Victories, we'll do X-Men Origins Wolverine versus the Wolverine, which I also think is a pair-up that's been a long time coming, so that'll be a fun one to do in person.
The only reason I was even being like even remotely like against it before, which honestly I wasn't very passionate about that, I'm fine with doing this one, was just because it's like, it's another comic book one. I'm always so like in the dark on these because I didn't watch these movies growing up.
I remember liking at least X-Men 1 when I was younger. I should go back and watch those. I do actually remember thinking 2 was kind of stupid. We'll see about that one.
You know what my first and last X-Men movie was?
What?
Not counting that Deadpool shit that I refuse to count as one of them. Logan.
See,
Logan is the only one I saw. And it was good.
Logan is a really good one, and it's like a good conclusion to the X-Men universe, which is why I don't want to acknowledge any of the other X-Men stuff that's come out since then.
Deadpool and Wolverine is like, you don't even have to acknowledge it because you can just say it's like, it's not him, it's a version that's similar to him.
Well, yeah, I mean, they kind of go out of their way to like, Logan happened, we're keeping Logan canon, we're not going back on this.
But I just didn't really like that movie, and I thought I would because I enjoyed the first two Deadpool movies. But
I agree. I'm in the same boat. I liked the first two. I did not like that third one.
it was kind of lame.
Anyways, we got a Wolverine matchup for when we meet up next month.
Yep, that'll be fun.
It will be fun. Until then, I am your host, Matt Presents. For my co-host, Makal, we'll see you in the next one.
Peace.